Good morning, I'm Trisha Bear from the Culinary Command Post, and today I'm going to show you how to make cream cheese sausage balls. So basically it's a sausage. I'm using the Jimmy Bean sausage that's already ground up, and I'm going to add bacon to this recipe, so you can or leave it out if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and put the bacon in the oven 350 degrees for 20 minutes. That's the easiest way to make bacon. Okay. And then, so now we're going to mix up our sausage balls. And we're going to use, the recipe only calls for 1 pack of sausage, 1 pound. So we're going to go ahead and use these 2 pounds because I'm going to make extra. Love Ford is one of my sponsors, so I do take them samples of everything we make here at the cooking channel. So I'm putting in my sausages. And I'm actually going to use sweet paprika and kickin' chicken to flavor it a little bit. Alright, and that's what I've done. I've doubled the recipe, so it calls for 1 8-ounce block of cream. And I'm actually using 2 of cream cheese, and I softened them in the microwave for about 20 seconds. So I'm going to mix this cream cheese and the sausage together in the mixer. All right, we're going to mix that a few minutes, a couple minutes actually. All right, and before I add in my Bisquicks, which is about 4 cups, we're going to go ahead and add in our seasoning, which this one's sweet paprika. You can use whatever seasoning you like. That's good. And I used about a tablespoon of the paprika. And then I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of fried garlic. 2 tablespoons. And then I'm going to use about 1 tablespoon of kickin' chicken. It's not too hot like jalapenos are, but it does give it a little bit of kick to it. So I'm going to add some of that. About 1 tablespoon. And then I'm going to add the Daisy Creamy Ranch dip. It's about 1/2 cup. And it's really the best store-bought dip you can find. To me, it's almost like homemade ranch. All right. We're going to mix those up, and then we're going to add in our Bisquick, 4 cups of Bisquick, because I'm doubling the recipe. All right. And we're going to make these into 1-inch balls, and we're actually going to bake them in the oven. So I've got my bacon cooking in the oven, and we're going to crumble it up when it gets done and put it inside of our sausage mixture here. That's an addition to the recipe. I just added that in. So make sure it's completely coated with the cream cheese and the seasoning. Okay, so we got that mixed up. So now I'm going to mix in my Bisquick, 4 cups. Mix it in, and then we're going to put in, recipe calls for 1 cup of cheese, but we're going to use 2 because we're doubling it. So I'm going to use 1 cup of cheddar cheese and 1 cup of smoked Gouda. Be sure to scrape down the sides. Okay. Now I'm going to add my 1 cup of smoked Gouda. and about a cup of the cheddar cheese. And you can do a heaping. You can do however much cheese you want. There's that. And then I'm going to spray the... You can use a sheet pan with parchment paper. And I have this little cake pan I'm going to try today, which is actually going to be the perfect size for our meatballs. This is a 1-inch scoop. I'm going to spray it. Since I don't have no parchment paper on it, I'm just going to gently spray it. Maybe not. Hang on. Let me grab a different one. That one's not working for some reason. We're going to grab this. We're going to use canola oil instead. If you do buy these, I wouldn't buy this particular brand because it usually clogs up before you get it to use it. So we're going to use canola oil and just lightly spray it. And then I'm going to go back over it with a paper towel because I don't want it to have too much, but I do want it to have some. So I'm just going to spread it around a little bit. The best spray I have found is the Pam spray that says it's got flour in it. That's the one I usually buy. Unless they don't have it, but yeah. Because it works way better than the other stuff. Okay, so we got our pan sprayed. And I'm going to mix up the cheese with the meat, which is the sausage, and then we've got bacon in the oven. When the bacon gets done, we'll add it to our mixture, and then we're going to ball it up into 1-inch balls. Just want to make sure you get that Bisquick completely mixed with that sausage and the seasoning. Okay, so now we're going to wait about 20 minutes or so and wait till our bacon gets done and mix in the bacon with our sausage, and then we'll be ready to ball it up and cook it in the oven. So now we've got the bacon out of the oven, and we're just going to chop it up and put it in our cream cheese sausage balls before I start rolling them out into 1-inch rolls. And I say rolling them out, but really we're going to use a 1-inch scoop to scoop them out so they'll all be the same size, so they'll all get done about the same time. So we just put this in the oven for about 20 minutes at 350 degrees. So basically what I'm going to do is pull several pieces, and I'm just going to chop them up and put them in the sausage mixer. A little bit hot, so I'm just going to chop them right here. Try it this way. Okay, so we're going to chop them up into little bitty pieces, as little as you like, just to give my sausages an extra layer of flavor. And I just use 1 pack of bacon. And I usually cook them 20 to 25 minutes in the oven because it's a lot easier and they get more crispy. Like that. And I did drain some of the bacon grease off of them with a paper towel. And I guess you could wrap them around your sausage balls if you wanted to. I see a lot of mushrooms done that way, where they're wrapping them in bacon. But for me, I'm just going to put them in the sausage balls and make sure they're chopped up. Shell, Somebody's out the door. I think it's Larry. He's out there somewhere. Maybe what? Hey, Larry, I thought I seen him out. Shell, I thought I seen him out front in his car. Larry? Yeah, behind mine. Is that him? No. Okay. I thought it was Larry, but I guess not. He was in Okmulgee this morning, but I thought that may have been him a while ago, but it wasn't, I guess.
Well, all right, so.
Yeah. I've got the bacon chopped up. Now I'm going to mix it in there. Okay. So I just chopped up the bacon. It's going to go in our sausage balls. And that's optional. You don't have to do the bacon, but I like the flavor of it. And you're going to mix it in with the sausage balls. And then we will be ready to ball it up in 1-inch balls and put them in our tray. So we're going to use this cake pop tray that I have. It's cast iron, and then we're going to put the rest over there on the paper towel, or the parchment paper, I should say. I've got gloves on, so I'm going to use my hands with the gloves and make sure that I got them all mixed in. You just want to make sure you got the Bisquick mixed in with the meat. Okay. Okay, so I've got them all mixed in. Now I'm ready to start the scooping process where I scoop 1-inch balls into it. Switch out our gloves real fast. Okay. I've got the oven preheated at 350 degrees. And they're only going to take about maybe 20, well, they're going to make 5 minutes in the oven, but once we get them balled up, we're going to put them in the refrigerator for 10 minutes just so they don't spread. They shouldn't spread as bad in here in our cast iron deal we're using, but we're going to put them in the fridge about 10 minutes before we actually put them in the oven. So here's my 1-inch scoop, and you can spray the 1-inch scoop too if you want, just so they're easier to come out, and so you can put them on either the sheet pan or in our little cake mold here. Lightly spraying it, so. All right. All right, so I got about that much, 1-inch scoop. And then when I get it out, I'm just rolling it in my gloves so it's more uniform. And then I'm going to pop it in our little tray here, and that's going to work perfect for cake pops and this sausage that we're doing. Cream cheese sausage balls is what we're making, just like so, and then roll it up and stick it in there. And we're going to stick this one right here straight in there because it's got a mold of the the ball, so it's probably not going to spread like the one on the sheet pan. So if you get a chance to get a cake pop tray like this, that'll save you 10 minutes of having to put them in the refrigerator. So we're going to put as many of them as we can in here, and then we'll use the sheet tray for whatever's left. A little bit more. We just did the essay competition for the high school kids and the 6th through 8th graders. So we got 6 kids that turned in essays, and first place won $100, second place won $75, and third place won $50. And that's for each essay, Voice of Democracy and Patriot Pen. It's a little big. We just got to cook them in the oven, 350 degrees for 25 minutes. It makes quite a bit, actually. I doubled the recipe that I put under the video. Instead of the 1 pound of sausage, I used 2 pounds, and I doubled everything else. But it does make quite a bit because there's a ton of sausage balls in here. Too much. Mainly it's got Bisquicks, 2 types of cheese plus cream cheese, so actually 3 types of cheese because I use smoked Gouda and cheddar. Stick them in there. When you're using the 1-inch scooper, try to get it level before you take it out, and that way you're not using too much of it, and it'll stay in that tray there. See, and I'm just leveling it off a little bit and then smashing it in and then letting go of it. And if it starts sticking where the meat doesn't come out, then just spray it again. Just like that. The VFW does have an art contest, the auxiliary actually. They have a art contest and the deadline's the end of March. So if you're interested in that competition, just give me a call at 479-414-0952 and I could send you the instructions. We have different groups, so like we have the kindergarten kids, they're judged on the kids that are about their age. Same way with the high school. The only thing on that I remember on the rules is if you are doing the American flag as one of your designs, be sure it has the right amount of stripes and stars in that flag. That was one of the things that they're looking at. But it's a patriotic competition, so anything that's really patriotic to you is what you can draw or paint or whatever kind of artwork you do. But read the instruction, it'll tell you which type of artwork they do accept and which ones they don't. But you can win money at the post level, which is post 539 in Henrietta, District 7, which is 5 towns in this area, state, and also national. So you have 4 different levels to win prizes at. And if you are the first place winner, that's the ones they send to district at our post level. Okay, so I got all the balls in their little tray. I might take a little bit off of this one. It's a little big. And I'm going to stick these in the oven because they're in a mold. They don't need 10 minutes, I don't think, because they're already in a little mold here. And we're going to see if they make them spread or anything, but they shouldn't because they're in a mold of about the right size. Okay, so we're going to put this one in the oven, and then we're going to finish mixing our other sausage balls. 20 minutes. Time. When we went to the Hallmark Christmas last Saturday in Henrietta, one of the little girls won a bike because they gave away 4 brand new bikes. And once they pulled that little girl's ticket, she came up on stage and she said, I want you to give my bike to another kid. And so she gave her bike away by letting them pick another raffle ticket. So I thought that was pretty awesome that a kid would do that and let another kid have their bike. So that was pretty cool. If you do get a chance to go to that next year, it'll definitely put you in the Christmas spirit. Bring a lot of toe warmers and hand warmers, but they do have the bonfire pits everywhere. That'll keep you warm, and they sell cocoa everywhere out there. So really, it wasn't that cold. And I wore 4 layers of clothes, but it wasn't that cold at all. So I highly recommend going to that next year. She said it's always the first Saturday in December also. So on your sausage ball, just spread them out a couple inches. They shouldn't spread that much because we are going to put these in the fridge for about 10 minutes. And it makes quite a bit. So I'm still digging them out. We got 16 already in the oven. It makes quite a bit, which I doubled the recipe that we're going to put under the video. It is doubled, but it still makes quite a bit if you just want to do the single one. One thing I am going to add to these, I'm going to add some pepper to them, because I didn't add pepper to the other one, so I am going to add a little bit of pepper. This 1-inch scoop works really well. Just pack it in a little bit, and that's about all you need right there. And I only had to spray it once so far, so that spray does work as far as getting it out easier. And that's how you make cream cheese sausage balls. Thank you for watching our culinary command post. Have a good day.